Well, MTC have brought out a new scope. This is the MTC Prismatic, and oh, does it look nice. Keep watching, I'll tell you all about it coming right up. Don't forget to visit www.ergonology.com. On there you'll find all of our social media links and forums and 3D printed sections. Facebook group is there for you to discuss anything you want to do with air rifles, air pistols and technology. Our dedicated forum where you can buy and sell anything that you want with regards to air rifles and air pistols. As well as our 3D printed section where you'll find the cradles that you can purchase for the chronographs for FX and the ATM ballistic rangefinders. Hi there guys, and welcome to another video from Ergonology. I'm Steve, and on this channel we do a whole load of air rifles, air pistols and technology reviews. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and definitely check out the video description down below where you find a whole load of useful links. Well, today we're going to do something slightly unusual for me, and that is talking about a scope. I generally do not do scopes on the channel, but I just could not pass this little bad boy up. Look at that. This is the brand spanking new MTC SWAT Prismatic scope, and I'll leave pictures and information around for you. And I was introduced to this at the Northern Shooting Show sometime back in 19, and I thought it was a thing of beauty, absolutely wonderful. Now I've got a hold of a very early production. This is about 99% complete. They're making a few tweaks which I'll talk about, but you can expect to see these hitting the shops probably back end of October, early November 2019. But yeah, like I said, this is the SWAT scope from MTC. Totally different to the normal types of scopes that you see on the rifles. So what's it all about? Well, let's just think about the normal scopes that you can see behind me. They are basically copies of designs for standard types of rifles with recoil. And generally what happens is that your eye relief, and that is the distance between your eye and the eyepiece, is a good 2 to 3 inches away. So you get yourself perfectly lined up and you look through the scope and you get a nice sight picture. And the reason it's like that is because generally those rifles would be recoil rifles. And the last thing you want is your eye right up against the eyepiece when it recoils and gives you a black eye. And unfortunately, most of the scopes that we use are generally on that design. Well, this is a zero eye relief scope. The idea with this is that you put this directly up against your eye, against this lovely little suction cup here. And why would you do that? Well, what it means is you get a bigger field of view. So think about a standard scope. When you hold up, if you want to try this yourself, just hold up a toilet tube and put it about 2 to 3 inches away from your eye and have a look. You'll see you get what's called tunnel vision, which is not that good for hunting. If you're hunting and you want to see something, you want to be able to see around, acquire your target, and what you're doing is you're messing around with the zoom and trying to stop that tunnel vision. And that is a real problem. I've certainly experienced it when I've been ratting, is that when I've played the footage back later, I can see a rat in the top corner, but because I'm so tunnel visioned on the center of that screen, I totally miss it. So the idea with this is because of your eye is so close to it, you get a much bigger field of view, about 3 times difference compared to a standard scope on the same magnification. So how does it all work? Well, quite simply, in here there is a prism, like a triangle shape of glass, and some mirrors, and basically the light comes in, bounces around and comes out the eyepiece here, which means it can compact it in size, in length. So you notice how small this is compared to a normal scope. You put your eye up against this side here, and obviously the light comes in through these little flick claps through here, and then you can see where you go. Now the downside with these things is that basically they are fixed magnification. Now what you'll find is a lot of hunters with a standard type scope will actually be right down at, say, 3 or 5 magnification so that they can get that field of view. With this, because it's right up against your eye, you've already got that increased field of view, and you sat at a fixed zoom, which means you get a nice zoom in and a wide field of view. Perfect for hunting, absolutely perfect.
So let's walk around this scope itself. But before I do that, let me tell you that it comes in 2 versions. And I've got a sheet here just to make sure I get this right. And I'll leave a picture of this up on the screen. You can get this in 2 versions. You can get it in the 30 objective times 10 zoom. That's a fixed zoom. And that's got a little nickname of the Atom. And that's recommended of around about a £375 and weighs a mere 300 grams. And then you've got the big brother, which is this one that I've got here. And this is the 12 times 50. That's 12 fixed zoom, 50 objective. And this one weighs 460 grams on there. And they come in this wonderful little box like so, like all of the MTC scopes, really nicely packaged up. We'll go through the contents of the box later on as well. So let's walk around the back of it here. At the back here, we have the rubberized cap here, and we have a little cover here that goes over the objective lens. Then we have turrets up the top here for windage, and on the side as well, elevation and windage here. And these are lift up, click, nice distinct clicks on and push down to lock it in place. Then we have a side parallax wheel where you can adjust your parallax, and a power on button to illuminate the reticle. Now in the Atom, it has a standard mil-dot reticle, and I always get this wrong, but in the bigger version, the 12 to 50, it has an SCB2 type reticle, illuminated red with the button on here. And that's pretty much it, apart from the fandankly mounting system. So you can see if, again, I'll leave some proper pictures, but we have a nice little mounting system here. Now, this has to sit right back on your rifle. So unlike a normal scope, where you mount the scope quite a way forward, this has to sit right at the back so that you can get your eye right onto it, which can introduce a few mounting problems. Plus also, because the scope's so short as well, basically any angle lift is greatly magnified in terms of where the scope is pointing compared to your rifle barrel. So what the boys at MTC done, I've put together this brilliant little mounting system on here. And it's the first time I've seen this. And what you can do is you can release here the actual scope on the mount, and you can slide the mount up and down on like a little curve. And that allows you to bore sight it as close as possible to the barrel of your rifle. And then of course you can fine tune the zero with the elevation and windage. And talking about the mounting systems, if we have a look in the box here, and like I said, this box is absolutely gorgeous. I do like MTC the way they do this. Let's just have a quick peek in here. Oh, nice in here. They give you a whole load. You get a standard cleaning cloth in here, but you get loads of different mounting systems. So that bracket, you get different sizes of them as well. So there's a smaller size there. There is a larger size one here. And again, we can see the little graduations in it. You can just about make out that curve there. Standard attachment onto Picatinny, or if you really need to, they even give you some dovetail attachments as well, all included in the box with some Allen keys as well. So really, really nice. So I'm going to leave some pictures of it mounted up on different rifles. Like I said, I've been shooting this now for about a week and a half, and I find the optics beautifully clear. And looking through this and comparing it with a standard scope, let's say on 12 times zoom, and this with the SWAT, which actually stands for super wide angle technology, I find that with this at 12 zoom, zero eye relief compared to that at 12 zoom, I'm getting about a 3.5 extra field of view on there, which is very, very, very handy for hunting. So anyway, I've rattled on quite a bit about it. So as you know me, I'll tell you what I think, the good and the bad things about it. Okay, so let's hit some of the bad things. Let's start that first. The price. It is expensive. This top end version is near on £500, but you're getting absolutely quality glass, absolutely beautiful, really, really nice. What other bad sides are there? You may have a problem with your mounting option. So this sort of scope works perfect for those guys that are out walking around the farms, walking around fields with a short bullpup style rifle. So for example, on my cricket, it would fit up here with the riser right back there, just about nice. But if I wanted to put this on something like a classic hunting rifle, then generally you're going to find that this needs to go on the rear rail that you have to make sure that you don't foul the magazine or your single shot loading or the bolt action. So you may find difficulties doing that, but generally this is sort of like designed for those compact, light, bullpup style rifles. However, I successfully put this on a Bantam without any problems at all. So what's some of the plus sides with this? Well, number one, its size. It's so lightweight. It's gorgeous. The clarity of the glass in here is just fantastic as well. I love the reticles. I love the SCB2 type reticle in there with it being illuminated. And it is just super wide field angle. It's just really nice. So if you're out hunting, you can have a look and you go now and you spot your pigeon, for example, it's up in the tree, you're looking at it, you just bring the rifle up, drop this to your eye, you've got that wide angle field of view, the pigeon will be in there somewhere, you're not hunting around looking for it, you then place your crosshairs, you do your hold over, hold under, absolutely brilliant, super, super easy to use. The other nice thing about this is super, super accurate at range finding, and I've tried this and it's fucking good out to about 75 meters. Because of the glass in here is so good and then the mirror system and it's so compact, the degree of error on the parallax is so minute. And that brings me on to something slightly that I do need to tell you, is that the version I have here actually has graduations on the parallax. And the reason these have been delayed a little bit is because MTC don't want to release them like that because this is so crisp and so clear out to about 75 meters and so accurate that you'll find that everybody has different eyes and the numbers will not line up for most people. One person, if I read a distance on there of, let's say, 25 meters, give it to the next person, it might be 28 or 30 meters because their eyes are different. So MTC are not going to pre-print these numbers on the parallax. Instead, they're going to give you a sticker sheet so that you can then range it yourself using a tape measure or a laser rangefinder. You can dial this to the range so you get crystal clear, and then you can put your own range markers on here. And I've tried this and this thing is good. It really does. And it's not to say that it won't range out to much further distances, but certainly up to 75 meters, absolutely brilliant on there. So what do I think of the scope? Well, for the price, obviously it is a little bit expensive, but it is super, super quality. The low light gathering capabilities of the 50 times on here is great. I certainly recommend this for those guys that are out there hunting or with a bullpup style rifle. Absolutely brilliant. The mounting systems that they give you absolutely everything you need, including the dovetail stuff. So really nice, and I do love this. The way of adjusting the inclination of the scope according to the barrel of the rifle. Absolutely brilliant. So I'd love to know what you guys think of this. Obviously there are other ones of these around. You see these in the military a lot, but this is brand new for MTC. Nice to see them innovating away from the standard scopes. I can't wait to put this on my Brocock concept light that hopefully I'm getting in the next couple of months. And I'd love to know your thoughts. As always, leave your links, your comments down in the video description down below. Give us a thumbs up and don't forget to check out the other videos that we have.